What is going on, everybody? Voidlego here, back for a brand new episode of Umineko When They Cry. Last time we were on, we had started up episode 8, the final episode of Umineko, with a conversation between Bador and Angie. And Angie wanting to know the truth on what happened on Wokenjima, and Bador giving her a golden key and venturing on that day to a certain fragment where Angie was there that very day on those 2 rainy days of October 4th and 5th of 1985. And there's things were different though. Very different. Kinzo actually went out of his room. He was still alive. He had his grandchildren and his children give him presents every year, and he would give them presents back as a weird ritual. And he was a thankful grandfather, grandfather that loved his children so much that all he wanted to be was around them till the end of his days. He was so much more different than the Kinzo we knew all this time. And Angie realized this, young Angie, so she asked Bador, "This isn't the truth." And Bador kept retorting with her of how she didn't remember things clearly since she was still only 6 years old when all of this happened, and ever since they left her behind on Wokenjima. But the biggest thing that's changed in this world is that Beatrice is an actual person, the granddaughter of the beloved Beatrice that Kinzo met all those years ago, back in the 1950s. And right now, we're trying to figure out what Bador is trying to tell Angie. What Bador is trying to get to Angie is for her to find out the truth. No, something beyond the truth of everything. Something that's much more important than the truth. But what that exactly is, I do not know. I have my thoughts, I have my theories onto what it could possibly be. Maybe the journey, maybe love, maybe family, maybe something else. I don't clearly know yet, but I'm very interested to see what it is. 2 comments I'm going to mention from last episode. One is someone explaining how at the beginning of every chapter, every single one, there's always a disclaimer that says this story is no more than mere fiction, yet it has been able to impact me so much. It's made me cry, it's made me laugh, it's made me think endlessly about its mysteries. So, therefore, why should we care that a magic exists or not? Because, well, if a story is able to affect us so deeply, does it matter whether magic is real or not, or whether or not the story is real or not? If it's able to impact us so. Another comment that's in line with that line of thought is someone stating of how back in episode 3, Bador asked Virgilita what exactly is the point of endless magic, and Virgilita responded with, magic has always been to provide happiness, no matter what. That's the point of magic, is to provide happiness to everyone. And how in episode 4, that was, shown to us via Maria's magic of turning something sad, such as her and her single mother's disintegrating relationship, into something much more, happy. Much more happy-filled days with her and Sakataru and her other friends, spending days and days on end, living happily with her mother. She was able to turn a sad truth into a happy magic, really. And they also provided at the end that most Disney films are actually based off fairy tales, which most of them actually do have depressing endings or more disturbing, which is a great, actually very great comparison to make, of transforming something that was sad, but transforming it into something new, a brand new story, such as, let's say, Cinderella or The Little Mermaid. Stories like that, turning them into, you know, grim tales, you know, from the Grimm's brothers back in Germany, if I remember correctly, and turning them into, you know, more magic-filled stories or movies, anime movies and such that brings happiness to little kids all over. I mean, who hasn't seen a Disney film as a kid? So it is actually just an interesting thought of, does the truth matter? Does the truth matter? Does it matter that magic actually exists or not? Because it just matters whether the story impacts you or not. Maybe that's the point they're trying to get across. Of, maybe magic does exist in Umineko. Or maybe it doesn't. But does it matter, really, by this point? I mean, this story has impacted me so much by this point that, you know, it kind of just doesn't matter by this point, you know? If something is able to, something fake, such as a story, is able to impact you so much, both emotionally, you know, logically, you know, in any single way, then why wouldn't it be real to you? You know, because your emotions are real. You know, you cry, you are happy, you laugh. Those are real things. And if a story is able to do that within you, well, that means the story is real. Hell, that's what I've always based my criteria on, whether a story is good or not. Has always been, if a story is not able to make me feel anything, it's a bad story. If a story is able to make me feel one thing, then it's a good story. If it's able to make me feel multiple things, then it's a great story. If it's a story that actually, like, really impacts me, that really changes, like, how I think about the world, or how it, you know, changes my perspective on things, then it's a masterpiece. That's how I've always viewed stories as a person. And whether that it makes them great or not is, well, does it make me feel anything? Does it make me feel sadness? Does it make me feel anger? Does it make me feel fear? Does it make me feel any type of emotion at all? If it's able to do that, then it's a good story. And if it's able to keep doing that, then it's a masterpiece. And, well, Umineko is a masterpiece, I'll tell you that right now. In my criteria, absolutely. It is an absolute masterpiece. And I'm so curious where this episode's going to go. Because this episode could go anywhere by this point. So, I think that's enough talking, so let's get right into it, folks. The VIP room was filled with the sweet smell of pumpkin tea, and packed with smiles and laughter. I mean, hell, you could take this episode as, like, a kind of retelling, or, like, a more Disney-filled retelling of the original story, I guess, you know? Instead of Kinzo being a paranoid, isolating grandfather, he's much more, you know, funny. He's a you know, a grandfather that always cries when his grandchildren come over, and that, you know, you must always give him gifts or else he'll trick you, you know? It really does feel that way, of, like, this is a more happy-filled retelling of the story.
元気そうで何よりだ。
そなたも元気そうで何よりだ。余命いくばくとは肩払いたいわ。
そなたに元気を分けてもらってるだけだ。書斎に戻れば枯れ果てた年寄りが窓辺でほうけているだけよ。
そなたの死ぬ死ぬ詐欺にはもううんざりしている。もう諦め、100まで元気に生きると使ってしまえ。
俺もじいさまには6年ぶりに会ったけど、全然変わってねえんで驚いたもんな。
バトラめ、この6年で世辞まで学んだか。残念だがそれは節穴というものよ。しっかりかっきり老いぼれておるわ。
金蔵が100歳になってピンピンしているのに1000円かけるぞ。
I mean, I've had this white hair since I was 20, so you know.
ああ、俺も。100歳になっても、じいさまは今と変わらないさ。
これ以上褒めても何も出ぬというのに。
Kinzo laughed cheerfully. Bito, who sat next to Bador, was also laughing merrily. Angie stood all alone by the window, staring at the others and trying to figure out what sort of relationship the witch of the portrait and grandfather had. There was a knock on the door.
源氏か。入るがよい。
失礼いたします。クラウス様と夏日様がお越しでございます。
お父さん。おお、バトラ君も一緒かね。
ご無沙汰しております、ベアトリーチェさん。おかわりはありませんか？
相変わらずであるわ。さあ座れ座れ。エンジェもどうしてそんな窓際にいるというのか。こっちへ来て座るがいい。
エンジェ、こっちにおいで。
ここで見てるからいい。
And she grasped the candy she had gotten from Bito tightly. Then with a gaze that was still weary, she continued to stare. Genji offered her a chair, but Angie just shook her head.
好きにさせてやりなさい。さあ、クラウスも夏日もそこに座るがいい。
何か重要な話でも？俺とエンジェは席を外した方がいいかな。
おいおい、そなたが帰ったらわらわは誰に相槌を打たせればいいというのだ。金蔵、バトラがいても構わぬであろう。
隠す話でもない。構わぬ。
However, he had called Klaus and Natsuri to the VIP room to meet Beatrice, the Golden Witch. It was hard to imagine that Kinzo wanted to have a casual conversation. After Kinzo said he didn't mind, Bito also asked Bador to stay, so he decided to do so. In order to avoid getting in the way of their conversation, Bador stood up from the sofa and walked over to Angie's window. When the big brother finally came back to Angie, she clung to his waist as though determined not to let him go away again.
ああ、なるほど。どうしてわらわがエンジェに嫌われているかわかったぞ。
どうしてだ？エンジェは別にお前のことを嫌ってなんかないだろう。
これだからバトラは女心がわからぬのだ。
Bito smiled at Angie, but the latter turned to look the other way.
女は幼くとも女であるな。
When Bito stopped laughing, the conversation switched gears. Why on earth did Kinzo summon Klaus and Natsui to the VIP room, and what was he going to talk about? Everyone fell automatically silent.
黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェよ。滅ぶ運命にあったはずの後ろ宮家を救ってくれた大恩、一日たりとも忘れたことはないぞ。
感謝せい感謝せい。
じいさまが感謝してるのはお前のばあさんの方だからな。
やかましい。
いいや、同じことです。莫大な黄金を3代にもわたり後ろ宮家に貸し付けてくれました。それも無償で。
本当にいくら感謝してもしたりません。
黄金などわらわにはレンガも同じよ。置き場もないから金蔵が預かっててくれて助かる。
ひゅー、死ぬ前に一度は言ってみたいセリフだぜ。
黄金の魔女ってお金持ちなの？
そりゃそうだな。何しろ 10トンもの黄金をほいっとじいさまに貸し出したんだからな。
そうだ。必ず返すと約束し、もう数十年も借りている。その恩はもはや返しきれないほどだ。
当家が感謝の気持ちを忘れたことはありませんねえ、あなた。
無論だとも。3代にわたりベアトリーチェさんたちが気前よく貸してくれなかったら、後ろ宮家はとうに滅んでいましたと。辣腕のお父さんとて軍資金がなければ何もできなかったのですから。
So the entire time it's been went instead.
もはや金が金を呼び、黄金の軍資金は静かに眠るのみだ。クラウス、私が何を話そうとしているかわかるか？
Since the moment Klaus had been summoned here, he had guessed what Kinzo was hidden at now. All things borrowed must be returned someday. That day had finally come.
はい、分かっています。お父さん。
ベアトリーチェよ。私はもう追い先はわずかだ。おそらく今日のこれが私とお前が会うことのできる最後の親族会議になろう。
何を気弱なことを。そんなことがあろうはずもない。
Ito laughed. She looked at Bador, so he laughed along with her, but Kinzo and the others remained silent. Apparently, there existed some major concerns about Kinzo's health.
無論来年すぐに死ぬつもりもない。しかし来年会おうと絶対の約束をすることはおそらくできぬ。私はいついかなる時でもできぬ約束をした試しは一度もない。
そのようなことを胸を張って言われると、わらわも返す言葉がないぞ。本気で言っているのか？
ベアトリーチェ、もうしっかりとけじめをつけたいのだ。私がこうして元気であるうちにな。
Able to return all that he had taken.
だから私は今日それを決心することとした。
おじい様は何の話をしているの？
静かに。じいさまは今からとても大事な話をする。
By now, even Bador understood what Kinzo was about to propose. Bita probably realized it too. At one time, the Ushiromiya family had ruled the skies like an eagle, before being crushed by the Great Kanto earthquake. The eagle had one of its wings torn off, and it crawled in the mud on the point of death. Then they were saved by the Golden Witch's golden miracle. Under the Golden Witch's protection, the eagle had nursed its wounds for many years. And now finally it was time for the eagle to leave the nest the witch had provided.
そなたの祖母より借り受けた黄金をすべてそなたに返還する。クラウス、異論はないな。もとよりあの黄金は後ろ宮家のものではないのだ。
無論です。何の異論もありませんとも。
良いのか、クラウス。そなたは投資家であろう。金はいくらあっても足りぬであろうが、金蔵から黄金を譲り受けたいと思っていたのではないのか？
それを言われれば確かに否定は難しい。しかしもとより父とあなたの契約であり、そしてもともとあなたの黄金です。
主人は仮にも次期当主、お父様が一代にて当家を復興させたように、主人も一代で当家を繁栄させるでしょう。そしてそれは主人と私で成し遂げることです。
よくぞ言った。 その息であるぞ。
10トンの黄金に未練はないというか。やれやれ、大したものよ。黄金の魔法が効かぬ相手には魔女も型なしであるな。
So the gold finally goes back to its original owner. Not in the way of killing every single person for it, not in murders, just simply returning what was borrowed.
そなたに黄金を返還する。だが黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェが後宮家にとって最大の恩人であることは未来永劫変わらぬぞ。
They would return the gold once by the Golden Witch. It was both simple and clear. However, the expression worn by the Golden Witch herself was slightly lonely. Angie couldn't understand why this was.
返すというものをいらん、やるとも言えぬしな。やれやれ。
Beta rose from the sofa. Then she walked up to the window, looked down at the rose garden waving in the wind.
クラウス、我が遺産についても私が生きているうちにお前たちに贈与することにした。
お父さん。
私が死ねば葬式で大忙しな上に遺産はどうするのかとエヴァたちががっついてくるであろうが今から分けておけば葬式が気楽になるというものよ。クラウス、メモを取れ。源氏も書記を頼む。これより財産の分け方を説明する。
Kinzo immediately began explaining how the inheritance would be split up. Bador, realizing that he shouldn't be listening in on this conversation, walked over to where Beta was bordering by the window.
よー、大金持ち。黄金が余ってるなら少しは引き取るぜ。
黄金など薪に変えて炉にくべればシチューを煮る程度の使い道はあるというものよ。
どうしたよ。なんだかつまらなそうな顔してんな。
とうとうこの日が来たか。寂しいものよな。
One way how?
そうか。
わらわの魔法で後宮家はよみがえり、そして六軒島は生まれた。その後宮家がもうわらわの黄金の力には頼らぬという、わらわの魔法から巣立つということだ。
そうだな。そういうことになるな。
わらわは六軒島を魔女の島と、わらわの島と呼んできた。
そうだったな。
その六軒島がわらわに黄金を、魔法を返すという、六軒島が魔法から目覚める日が来たということだ。
For it to finally be set free.
そうだな。
最後のゲームと分かってはいたさ。しかしこういう形ではあっても、それを切り出されると意外に応えるものよ。
God damn it. Please don't say that. Please don't remind me. God damn it. It's something, you know, I have to say the atmosphere of this episode so far reminds me a lot of the final season of Lost, especially its second half, if I remember correctly. If you've watched it, you would know what I mean, but in this sense that well, no, you could say this with any story, with its final arc or whatever. You always feel that dread You know, especially if it's a story that's really important to you, of that dread of its ending. It's really ending. You feel that dread, you know? And it's it's a powerful feeling. It really is. If it's such a important story to you, of that dread of it's going to be over. And in this game, the characters are acknowledging it, which just adds more to it, really. Of, yeah, this is it. This is it. You know, it's going to be free. It's going to be over. You know? And when you're with something for so long, such as I have been with this game for 2 years, well, it is kind of, you know, dreadful of I'm going to get to the finale rather than sooner than later, you know? It's a palpable feeling, you know, it really is for me.
お前って結構さっぱりしてそうに見えて未練タラタラなタイプなのな。
残忍で必要なタイプは大抵は寂しがり屋で未練がましいものよ。
そうだな。お前はそういうやつだもんな。
わらわとそなたのためのゲームだった。
楽しかったぜ。お前が6年の間に練りに練った愉快なゲームだった。
かつてわらわはそれを互いを苛む永遠の拷問と称したっけな。
永遠が永遠であると信じられるうちが一番幸せなのさ。
We can still believe that it's eternal.
物事には全て終わりがある。そしてそれを自覚しなければならない。
目を背けずにな。
昇らぬ日はないように沈まぬ日もねえってことさ。
Eternity's happiness when you think it's eternity. Jeez. Of course, Angie didn't have the slightest idea what her brother and the witch were talking about. However, even as young as she was, she could feel that the pair had spent an incredibly long time together. And that they understood each other so well that they might as well be a married couple. Then, Bito noticed her reaction.
レンジ、わらわたちはかつて互いのためにゲームを紡いだ。しかしそれはもう終わった。このゲームは今わらわたちのためでなくそなたのために紡がれているのだ。
They were speaking in riddles again. Grasping the key that hung by her chest, Angie looked at their brother's face.
今日という日の猫箱の中身を俺たちはエンジェに届けなくちゃならない。お前に持たせたその鍵は猫箱を開くための鍵なんだよ。
猫箱って
今日という日のことだ。
エンジェがあれほどたどり着きたいと願った今日にお兄ちゃんは魔法の奇跡でエンジェを招いた。エンジェは最後の魔女として今日という日を語り継がなくちゃいけない。
That's the final witch.
それは私がここに残ってはいけないということ。
Angie's tone was slightly tense. She understood what her brother meant and made her frown.
私は1986年の六軒島へたどり着きたくてどれほど長い間苦しんだことか。そして私はやっとたどり着いたの。なのにそれを 追い出すの？お兄ちゃんは言ったわ。私が自分で決めていいって。
そうだな、確かにそう言った。
帰らないわよ、私は。そしてまるで私を甘やかすかのようなこのおかしな作られた物語もやめて。私は今日という日の真実を知りたいの。
12年を経ても遡りても気難しい女であるな。
うるさいわね、あんたには聞いてないわよ。それにあんたこそ何よそのざまは。黄金の魔女は復活の儀式のためにやってきたんじゃないの？雷鳴と共に島に現れ、これから13人もの人々を生贄に捧げようとしてるんでしょ。そのあんたがなんでこんなにものんびり団らんしてるのよ。わけがわかんない。
わけがわからぬのはそなたの方であるぞ。なんだそなたは、わらわにそんなにも人殺しがしてほしいのか。
あんたはそれを物語に記してメッセージボトルに封じて海に投じたわ。後の世界にはそのうちの2本が伝わってる。どちらもひどい連続殺人の物語じゃない。
2本しか流れ着かなかったとは残念残念。一番の力作だったランドが人目に触れなかったのは残念なことだ。
前から聞きたかったんだが、あのメッセージボトルは何なんだ？
そなたとのゲームを練りながらその過程で生み出した派生の物語のようなものよ。一つのゲーム版から異なる複数の物語を無限に紡ぎ出せることに気づき面白くなってしまってな。
Kind of in a way fan fiction. Yeah.
いつか俺に読ませようと書き溜めてたわけか。
Of
course.
あまりの力作にそなたを待つのが惜しくなってな。
For bad or as they both loved their murder mysteries.
孤島物の古典に習い、わらわもそれを瓶に封じて海に投じてみたのだ。
Just by Agatha Christie, and then there were none.
ミステリアスであろう。
バカにしないで。あれはあんたの犯行計画書よ。あなたは黄金のありかをちらつかせながら親族の不和を煽り、残酷な連続殺人事件を目論むのよ。
やれやれ。1998年ではわらわはそういうことになっておるのか。なるほど、無理もないことであるな。
はあ？何を開き直ってんのよ。私を拍子抜けさせようと目論んでるの？私は騙されないわよ、ベアトリーチェ。お兄ちゃん、私に魔女はいると屈服させたいんでしょ？その手には乗るもんですか？私はお兄ちゃんの手なんか借りなくたって一人で真実にたどり着いてみせる。
ここがその真実であるというのにか。そなたはかつてグレーテルと名乗ったが、どうやらミチルと名乗った方がふさわしいようだぞ。
Mutual.
いい加減にして。
Well, that's referring to. Angie tried to slap Bito's cheek. However, the difference between their heights was so great that Bito dodged before the hand could reach her.
バカバカしい、バカバカしい。私は認めないわよ。こんな茶番が真実なんて絶対に認めないんだから。
After Angie yelled those words, her eyes grew cloudy. They cleared up almost immediately, but at that time she had already gone back to her 6-year-old self.
そうだな、エンジェ。それがわらわが残した罪である。最後の物語を用意する理由なのだ。
As Angie stared blankly, uncomprehending, Bito gently patted her head.
そうとも、 この物語は茶番である。真実であろうはずもない。しかしそれでも、いや、そうしてでも、そなたにはどうしても伝えたいことがあるのだ。
ベアト、それはもう俺が伝えて、それ以上無理強いしたくない。
But what is it exactly?
そうか。
兄ちゃんたちが何の話をしているのかわかんない。エンジェもう眠いよ。
そうだな。俺たちはおいとました方が良さそうだ。
金蔵よ。わらわはまだここにいなければならぬのか？
すまぬ。そなたはもう少しここにおれ。続けるぞクラウス。それでだが、福音の家への援助についてはクラウスが後宮家当主の義務としてこれを継続し。
やれやれ。すまんなバトラ。わらわは送ってやれぬようだ。源氏よ、この二人をゲストハウスまで送ってやってくれぬか？
God. The more and more I think about it, the more like I've been playing these games for so long. Higurashi Umineko, back to back. God, once it ends, it's really just gonna end. Fuck. I keep thinking that damn quote. Eternity is happiest when you feel like, when you know, like, when you feel like that it is eternity. God.
かしこまりました。バトラ様、エンジェ様、ご案内いたします。
ありがとう。じゃあな、ベアト。後で。
うん。そなたとは語りたいことが山ほどだ。それに、今夜は水入らずで過ごしたいぞ。たまには夫婦らしいこともせぬとな。
なんだよ、夫婦らしいことって。
Because Angie had gotten so bored, she had grown very sleepy. It would probably be best for her to take a quick nap. Dadaware walked through the windy rose garden, pulling her by the hand. When he questioned their guide, Genji, he learned that the old servant had known beforehand of Kinzo's desire to return the gold to Bito and settle the inheritance problem early.
親方様は人生を終えるという最後の仕事の準備をお始めになったということでございます。
自分が死んだ後のことなんて人は普通考えないぜ。やっぱじいさまはスケールが一つ違うぜ。
今日は後宮家が黄金の魔女の庇護から飛び立つ新しい飛翔の日なのでございます。
確かにかっこいい言い方だな。
Once the gold is returned, the Ushiromiya family is free. Apparently, a grand Halloween party was to be held tonight, and Goda and the others have been ordered to start getting ready for it. However, it wouldn't just be a party. It would be a ceremony to mark the return of Beatrice's gold. At the start of dinner, Grandfather would make the announcement, and the 3 generations of Beatrices would be thanked for their gift to the family with a round of applause. Apparently, this was what they had planned.
親父たちにはまだそれは秘密なんすか？
一応は秘密にしております。ただ、親方様のお考えは唐突に今日思いついたものではありません。もう何年も前から今日という日について考えを重ねられ、 時にご兄弟の皆様に相談もされておりました。おそらく今宵の発表に驚かれる方はいないでしょ
うちのクソ親父、どうやら会社のことで金の工面が大変そうだし、じい様からのちょいと早い遺産のプレゼントに舞い上がっちまうかな。
むしろ大きな責任に奮い立たれるでしょう。ルドルフ様は島を出られ、大成し見事な成功を収められました。しかしそれは親方様の財産によって支えられたものです。
それが唐突に遺産をドンと出され、これからはお前の力だけで頑張るのだぞとなるわけか。
Really, this is the sign of setting everyone free. Of returning the gold back to Beatrice, setting Kenzo free from his debt to them. By giving the inheritance to the parents, setting them free of Kenzo's cage as well. To finally be free.
かえってプレッシャーがあるかもな。
ご兄弟の皆様は親方様というあまりに偉大すぎる父親にもう何十年も苦しんできました。
Always in the shadow.
偉大すぎる親はただ存在するだけで子に。
それが今夜本当の意味で一人前になって巣立つってわけだ。
親方様は今宵を黄金の返還式とお呼びになるようです。ですが最初は生前葬と呼ぼうと考えておいででした。
A living funeral. God damn it, this is reminding me of the final arc of Akagi. God damn it, I remember bawling my eyes out during that fucking arc. God damn it.
生前の葬式じゃなんだか落ち込んじまう。新しい出発の日、巣立ちの日って方が確かに後宮家にはぴったりだぜ。
兄ちゃん眠い。
ほらもうゲストハウスに着くよ。お母さんの部屋へ行くか、それともいとこ部屋に。
ここでもいい。晩ご飯まで。
Angie, still holding her brother's hand, crouched down and looked as though she was about to fall asleep. Edward lifted her up and carried her. As she felt the warmth and safety of her brother's back, Angie drifted off into sleep. What happened that day? Just what on earth happened on October 4th and 5th, 1986? Because of the massive size of the Wakajima explosion accident, the time of the explosion was known almost exactly, down to the minute. That time was October 5th, 12. The sheer improbability of that round number proved that the accident had been produced by artificial means. Later on, the following statements were collected from individuals who knew Ushiromiya Kinzo when he was still alive. During his lifetime, Ushiromiya Kinzo built a clock rigged to blow up the island at exactly 12. This clock was apparently inside his secret study. When he felt mentally cornered and wanted to think up a brilliant plan, he would activate that device and use the tension of the approaching midnight to bring some flash of inspiration to him. While Ushiromiya Kinzo still lived, this was only thought of as a tall tale about this eccentric man. But the fact that the Wakajima explosion accident occurred at exactly 12 supported the story.
クレイジーな話だわ。
その狂気の狭間に魔法めいた力を求めたに違いありません。
fucking Otosuki.
精神的な瞬発力とでも言えば、そう眉唾な話でもないでしょう。
Professor Otosuki spoke passionately. Witch hunters. Enthusiasts who treat the mad fantasy surrounding Rokujima as their plaything. Angie had no reason to love these people, who embellished the deaths of her family just for the fun of it. How ironic it was to Angie, who wanted to know what happened that day. That such people knew more about that island than anyone else.
その仕掛けを使えば島を跡形なく吹き飛ばすことができる。後には何も残らない。あそこで何があったとしてもなかったことにできる。
Giant crater with what exactly happening?
後宮エバ氏が何がしかの陰謀の首謀者であるとする説は早くからささやかれてきました。しかしあれだけの大爆発をいかにして起こしたのかが説明できずにいました。
その仕掛け時計によりそれが可能であったことが証明された。
さようです。後宮エバ氏は24時に爆発すること、そしてその爆発半径について十分に理解した上でクワドリアンに避難していたと考えられます。
After she killed Kyrie.
財産を独り占めにするためにみんなを殺して爆発によってその痕跡を消した。
If only.
そう考えると六軒島のミステリーは最も筋が通ります。エバ氏があの島で何があったのか語ろうとしないことにも合点がいくわけです。
Where was that wicked clock and how did Ava find it? Several forgeries have speculated on this matter. There's no need for me to waste them thinking about it. Ava activated the clock device, hid in corridor to escape the blast, and was therefore the only one to survive. That was everything. The answer, which eloquently told the whole story. When Ava first adopted me, our relationship wasn't that bad at all. I asked her several times what happened that day. Every single time she answered, it was to say that she didn't remember. Of course. But, well, she must have been flustered at the time. The very first time I asked, she answered like this. I can't tell you about it. It was a slip of the tongue. She knew what had happened that day, and she left this world without telling me even a bit of the truth. She sealed the truth in a cat box, and left this world taking the key with her. There can only be one answer. She was behind everything. She got to keep all the family wealth to herself and become super rich. And afterwards, she lamented the fact that her beloved son would never inherit any of what she had created, and she cursed me. Just remembering that old bitch makes me want to vomit. I'm telling you, ever since we learned the truth, Ava made herself the villain to Angie's eyes. Because it's so much easier to blame somebody else. Blame it on one person. It's just so much easier. You know? It's just so much easier, isn't it? You know, to just blame everything on one person, one individual that's behind everything, you know? Ava did it. She killed everyone. She took the money, and as a final fuck you to Angie, she never told the truth. Ava turned herself into that, so she could spare Angie the pain of what really happened. Of that her own mother and father did it. I mean, what child could bear that news? Hell, what person could bear that news, you know? Nobody. So it's easier to just blame it on an aunt. A distant relative. Someone else. Nobody connected to you, personally. But there's one thing about that day that I'm still wondering about. That one fucking thing. One thing is what happened to Bador. We don't know what happened to Bador. And yes, it could be that he died in the explosion. But still, we never saw Bador, damn it. We saw him leave the guest house and that was it. We don't know what happened to Bador. That's the one thing I've been wondering about. Is what happened to Bador? What happened to him? That's the one question I still have. That's the one ultimate question I have. Is what happened to Bador? What happened that day? That's what I want to know. It's my only goal, the one reason I'm still alive. However, later on, I had come to grips with the fact that my goal was an abstract one. After all, though, I don't know what happened that day. If it's a question of who did the crime, that's already clear. Ushiromiya Eva. She's the culprit. That has never changed since the beginning. That's right. I'm not trying to find out what happened that day. I'm trying to find out what Ushiromiya Eva did that day. If I can reveal that, then I can expose Ava's evil, even though she's already dead. That is my true goal. The police also suspected that the accident might be a crime, and they did investigate. However, no matter how much they inspected the crater that had once been Mokunjima, they didn't find anything at all. The public and the witch hunters cornered Ava with several bits of circumstantial evidence, but not a single bit of physical evidence was found. Though Ava was only the merest fraction of a shade away from guilty, they were unable to expose her crime. My goal isn't anything as vague as learning what happened that day. It's to expose the crime Ushiromiya Eva committed that day, to have my revenge. That makes sense for Angie. She always knew, well, at least in her point of view, she always saw Ava as the villain. And she just wanted evidence to convict her, to tarnish her name one last time, just to say one last fuck you to her that she never told her the truth. I haven't been able to expose Ushiromiya Ava's crime, so people are acting as though the events on this island were all done by some bizarre golden witch. Defeating the golden witch means exposing Ushiromiya Ava's sin. I won't forgive Ushiromiya Ava. I'll certainly hate her and take revenge for my family. That is Ushiromiya Angie's own one and only reason for living. Whoa.
それだけ嫌われりゃ会長もあの世で笑いが止まらねえでしょうぜ。
うるさいわね。あのクソババアの罪を暴くのよ。全て吹き飛ばして完全犯罪なんて私は認めない。絶対に。
つまりお嬢の旅は家族のための復讐の旅ってわけだ。
悪い？
まさか。生きる目的があるの大いに結構ですぜ。
それ切ってくれる？
おや、エムザッキーはお嫌いで？
Oh, come on, that's good. Hey, no, turn it back on. Amakusa turned the radio off. The dull sound of the engine became the BMG that filled the car.
おかしい？弔い合戦なんて。
別に。それを生きる目的にしてる連中に戦地じゃよく会いましたから。
Simple reason.
あんた、傭兵で戦場に行ったことあるのよね。
まあ、ほどほどには。
家族の仇を取るために戦っている人って強い？
そりゃ強いですぜ。家族の仇を取るために体に爆弾を巻きつけて自爆するやつだっている。人は敵討ちのために死ねる生き物ですぜ。
そうね。私も死ねるわ。
少年兵ってやつをご存知で？
子供の兵隊？
そうです。親を亡くした身寄りのない子供たちが武装勢力に拾われて兵士になるんです。
Yeah.
パンと銃を与えられ、復讐の方法を教えられる。所詮は子供、使い捨てですがね。引き金さえ引けりゃ戦場じゃ誰だって兵士になれる。
私がそれだって言いたいの？
復讐は生きる目的になります。そして兵士になれるほどの力も与えます。親の亡骸にすがって泣くことしかできなかった少女が一夜にして兵士に生まれ変われるほどの奇跡を見せてくれる。
But what happens after?
復讐ってやつほどパワーを与えてくれるものはありませんぜ。
そうでしょうね。それがまさに私だわ。
少年兵問題ってのをご存知で？
知らないわ。
銃を与えられ復讐の仕方を習った少年兵はそれを生きる目的とします。いや、少し違う。それを銃を撃つ理由にします。しかし復讐ってのは終わりがない。いつしか銃を撃つのに理由がなくなってくるんです。
どういう意味？
復讐のために銃を撃っていた。それがやがて理由もなく銃を撃つようになるんです。
Never-ending war.
復讐を忘れてしまうということ？
Never-ending revenge.
できもしない復讐にやがて疲れ果て、その目的を忘れちまうんです。そして手元には銃しかない。やがて飯を食うために銃を撃つようになる。
復讐のために銃を取った少年兵はやがて野党か何かになり果てるってこと？
何しろ学校にも通わず職も学ばせてもらわなかった連中です。
They only learned how to shoot guns. And they were only ever praised when they killed the enemy.
やがて自分の生きる目的は復讐のためでなく、その手段のためだけになり果てていく。
When it's the only thing you know how to do in your life, well, you just keep doing it. Just forget the reason why you learned it in the first place.
気の毒なことです。
It's kind of like Metal Gear Solid in a way of what happens to a soldier after their reason of firing their gun is over. What happens to them, or people molded to be the perfect soldiers. What happens to them after their war is over? Their battle is done. What happens to them? They are shaped and formed to be weapons, to be instruments of revenge, of battle, of war. What happens to them after? Do they just keep going and going until eventually they die? Or really, is there any other way for them to exist?
私もやがては復讐に疲れ果てて、私の場合だと何だってのよ。
真実を暴くことに疲れ果て、お嬢はやがて後ろ宮エヴァを憎むだけの人生になり果てていく。
すでにそうだけど、何か？
そういえばそうでしたっけ？
I'm not sure what Amakusa is trying to say. Probably something annoying. So I'm not interested.
復讐なんてくだらないことだ。そう言いたいんでしょ？
お嬢の人生はまだまだ長い。何だってできる若さがある。その貴重な若さを費やすにはちょいとこの旅はもったいねえんじゃねえかなと思いましてね。
余計なお世話よ。私ね、ほら飛び降りたでしょ、ビルから。
せっかく九死に一生を得たってのに。
あの時ね、私は死んだのよ。だから私はもう亡霊ってわけ。家族の仇を討つためにあの日の真実を暴くことだけを目的としたね。
やれやれ、お嬢は大した鉄の意志をお持ちだ。
あんたみたいな軽薄な男に私の気持ちなんてわからないわよ。
After that, Amakusa was forced to shut his mouth. He shrugged, but Angie didn't see it. Even so, Amakusa spoke once more.
お嬢とこの旅を始めた一番最初の日、お嬢は言いました。あの日、あの島で何があったか知りたいと。
今だってそうよ。何か変わった？
今はこう言ってます。後ろ宮エヴァの罪を暴くため、あの日あの島で何があったか知りたいと。
What if the truth's not the one you're looking for?
全く同じじゃない。
まあそうですね。
私眠いからもう寝るわ。少し黙っててくれる？着いたら教えて。
了解です。
I wasn't particularly tired, really. I just said that because I didn't like talking about this.
ならないでくださいよ、少年兵。
It's a great way to put it, really. That shadow soldier that lives only for revenge of their parents, for their family. Because that's what they really are. Angie, who had decided to feign sleep, ignored him. But Amakusa kept talking. He wanted to make sure she heard at least this much.
お嬢の旅は最初、真実を知る旅でした。それがだんだん復讐の旅になっている。真実を暴くことで復讐する旅だ。しかしお嬢も分かってる通り、六軒島にはもう何も残ってやしません。何の跡形も残ってやしない。真実を暴くことは並大抵のことじゃないかもしれませんぜ。
I know what Amakusa's trying to say. The police searched the scene so thoroughly just after the crime, and even they weren't able to find any physical evidence providing that Ushiromiya Eva was the culprit. And a full 12 years have passed since then. If the truth could be discovered by a girl like me, waving wads of cash around to pick up a bit of info from those who were somehow related to the incident, then someone would have exposed the truth long ago. I might not be able to reach the truth. If so, then my desire to expose the truth will probably fade away. After that, only my hatred for Ava will remain. Just like those child soldiers who forget their original purpose and live just to shoot. I'll forget my original purpose and live just to hate. I'll do nothing but despise Ushiromiya Eva, but my goal, exposing the truth for revenge, will be lost. So hating Ushiromiya Eva will become my whole life. Is there any difference between shooting for revenge and shooting to live? When you pull the trigger, someone dies either way. And what about my case? Is there any difference between hating Ava as I expose the truth and hating Ava after I've given up? There's no difference. In the end, whether I find the truth or not, I'll just keep on cursing Ava over and over until I die. What a crappy life. But now, that's all I have left. Ushiromiya Ava stole my family, so I'll take revenge by exposing her crimes and showing the world. My consciousness was slowly drifting away into sleep. Living for just revenge. It really does provide us with, like, I guess just confirming to us Angie's full motivation of like, it isn't the truth she's fighting for. She just wants the truth that fits within her view of hating Ava. That's what she wants to fight. She ignores everything else that disproves that, including riches, because it doesn't support her theory of Ava killing her family. She came into the Wokenjima mystery as someone that wanted to expose Ava. Simple as that. Either way, she'll hate Ava, even if there is evidence or not. And that is true for, life, isn't it? Sometimes you just hate somebody because, well, they did something wrong, maybe they didn't do something wrong, or it could be literally anything. Anything at all that just ticks you off about a certain person. And no matter what evidence there is or isn't that supports your viewpoint, you'll still have that viewpoint of that person, of hating them, no matter what. And if there's evidence that, proves that, oh, they're a good person, most people tend to ignore that, to keep up their worldview of their certain perspective, like their certain ideology or their personal political beliefs, It's just very true to life. And, well, just like with revenge, just like with any other thing, motivations transform into, well, it's just what I do. It's just what I believe in by this point, Be it religion, ideology, political views, anything, really. It just turns into, well, it's what I've believed for such a long time, so I'll still believe in it without even remembering what was the root cause of it. It's a very interesting discussion. Interesting thought. Why is Oni-chan showing me such a bizarre Wokenjima? Is this supposed to be the truth? Enough with this farce. Why is even Oni-chan trying to hide the truth from me? I'm trying to find it so that I can avenge him and the others. Or would Oni-chan say the same thing as Amakusa? That revenge is meaningless, so I should stop? Is that why he's speaking riddles, trying to make everything more confusing? That's none of his business. I'm not trying to take revenge for their sakes. I'm doing it for my sake, too. After all, that's the only reason I'm still alive. Taking revenge is my reason to live. But what happens after, Angie? Have you ever thought of that? Just focused on this? What happens after? I don't have a clue what Oni-chan is thinking. Interesting. Just like with episode 4, we're getting like flashes over to Angie's future side. I guess seeing extra scenes from their Halloween party. Outside, the rain had started to pour down hard. However, inside the cousin room, it was loud and cheery. It could have been raining spears and no one would have paid any attention.
Full house! Down!
Now, you guys playing Bottle? The cousins were all bursting with energy, sitting in a circle on the bed.
バトラがでかく張るときは役なしのことが多いと思ってたんだがな。
そう思わせるためにここまで負けてきたんだぜ。最後に勝つために負けを布石する男、後宮バトラ。
Yeah, we've got a real cocky over here.
バトラすごい、バトラすごい。
Well, it's more poker than it's, so I guess Kaiji.
マリア、またコインなくなっちゃった。私のコインを分けてやるよ。一緒にバトラをぶっ潰そうぜ。
With just a deck of cards, the cousins could enjoy themselves for hours and hours. They were so engrossed that the occasional thunderbolt hardly even registered as static in the background.
そろそろお腹が空いたね。夕食はまだかな。
そう、
そろそろじゃないかな。今夜はゴーダさんたちずいぶん張り切ってたな。
ってことは随分と期待できそうだぜ。俺の6年ぶりの再会を祝してかな。
さっきシャノンに聞いたけど、ハロウィンパーティーがあるって言ってたよ。ホールで立食形式でやるそうだよ。
It's so funny because Halloween is my favorite. Yeah, Halloween's definitely my favorite holiday. I fucking love horror movies.
すごいね。
ハロウィンパーティー、すごいすごいすごい。
お、はーい、どちら様？
There was a knock, the door opened, and Angie was there. She had been sleeping in her parents' room.
おう、エンジェか。起きたか。
あのね、晩ご飯だからお屋敷行くって。準備しなさいって。ご飯だご飯だ。お腹すいた。
Perhaps because she was the hungriest, Maria celebrated more vigorously than anyone else. She dumped up happily and hopped off the bed. As the others all clambered off the bed and started putting their shoes on, Kyrie and Rudolph came into view.
ほらガキども、飯だぞ。行く支度をしろい。
今日はなんだか素敵みたいよ。楽しみね。
マリア知ってる？ハロウィンパーティー。ハロウィンパーティー？マリアだけ知っててエンジェは知らない。お母さん、ハロウィンパーティーって何？
さあ、何かしらね。行ってのお楽しみね。
みんな、ええか。そろそろ行くで。
皆様、お揃いでしょうか。ご案内いたします。マリア、こっちいらっしゃい。襟が変よ。
ああ、お腹空いちゃったわ。親族会議の一番の楽しみは食事よね。エンジェちゃんはお腹空いた？
Ava smiled at Angie.
うん、着いた。
エンジェ、着きましたでしょ？
いいのよ。そうよね。お腹空いたわよね。おばさんもお腹ペコペコよ。
よし、出発するぞ。表は風も強いみたいだからな。傘を飛ばされるなよ。
皆様、傘をお持ちください。
はい、エンジェちゃん、傘。
ありがとう、エヴァおばさん。
やっぱり女の子は可愛いわね。今度おばさんのお家にも遊びにいらっしゃい。約束よ。
エヴァおばさんってエンジェのことを気に入ってるんだ。
うん。母さんは本当は娘が欲しかったらしいんだよ。
ああ、聞いたことあるぜ。小さい頃、私もずいぶん可愛がってもらった気がする。
うちのママは本当は男の子が良かったって言ってたよ。
元気に生まれてきてくれれば性別なんてどうでもいいのよ。マリアは大切な大切な神様からの授かり物なんだから。
When they got outside, the wind was fairly strong. Ava, who had really hit it off with Angie, offered to share an umbrella with the little girl. It was hard to tell what they were chatting so excitedly about, but they seemed to be getting along splendidly already. Batterer opened his umbrella as he watched this. His little sister was cute when she clung to him, but she was just as cute and adorable when looking up at someone else with a happy smile. The wind and rain were strong, but even this must have been the perfect spice to heighten their anticipation of the coming meal. It's so interesting. Pumpkins. Really is a Halloween party. God. But it's so interesting to me that every time we go over to the Okajima sections, it has been nothing but the happy music. The happy tracks. No World Ender Dominator, no Golden Slaughter, but all just the nice, relaxing ones. Such a, I don't know, just nice change of pace, I guess. Thanks to some festive decorations, the main hall had been remade into the scene of a Halloween party. The Ushiromiya family always took meals in the dining hall. This was the first time I'd ever seen a buffet-style party set up in the main hall.
Yo, バトラーおお、マリア久しぶりであるな。
And I guess Beatrice put on her costume.
ベアトーハッピーハロウィーントリックオアトリート
お菓子はあるが今はやらぬぞ。食事の前であるからな。
ありがとうベアトリーチェさん。相変わらずお美しいわね。
ローザこそ子持ちとは思えんぞ。
お前少し出来上がってねえか？耳が少し赤いぞ。
ん？あの後ちょいとそのだな。
It's only like 7.
金蔵が珍しい酒を手に入れたというのでな。まあほんのちょびっとだ。
食事の前のお菓子は自重するのに飲酒は自重しねえんだな。
失礼いたします。ベアトリーチェ様、親方様がお呼びでございます。
I saw Kinzo beckoning from over by the portrait.
やれやれ。セレモニーとは金蔵の形式にこだわる男よ。
例の黄金の返還式うんぬんってことなんだろう。
No, he's a showman.
後宮家にとっては一つの大きな節目なんだ。付き合ってやれよ。
ちと寂しい気持ちもあるがな。
後宮家顧問錬金術師であることはこれからも変わらねえさ。
であるな。ではちょっと行ってくる。後ほどな。源氏の話によると今日のパーティーちょっとした趣向があるらしいぞ。楽しみにしておれ。
A fame, huh?
用意したのはお前じゃないだろうが。
いちいち細かい男よ。では後ほどな。
お兄ちゃん、今日は何かあるの？何か特別な日？
It looked as though even Angie had picked up on that much. She seemed to be getting tense for no reason.
後宮家にとっては特別な日だ。だがエンジェとは関係ないから気楽にしてていいんだぜ。
うん。あ、そうだ。ねえねえお兄ちゃん聞いた？さっきエヴァおばさんからね、すごい秘密を聞いたの。マリアお姉ちゃんも知らない秘密、お兄ちゃんにだけ教えてあげるね。
ほう？秘密ってなんだなんだ？
あのね、アーモンドが入ってたら当たりなんだって。
当たりって？
What do you mean by that?
くじ引きか何かの話か？
とにかくアーモンドが当たりなの。
Just get almond? Angie puffed out her cheeks. Apparently she wanted to be praised for sharing this exciting secret. But just knowing that almonds won doesn't really explain much.
分かった分かった。大切な秘密を教えてくれてありがとうな。
Alright, almonds, got it.
お兄ちゃん嫌い。せっかく秘密を教えてあげたのに。
Angie, her cheeks still puffed out, headed back to where Aunt Ava was. They really are getting along well. No, I guess I have no problem if it's her aunt. If it was some guy from her class, I don't care if they're elementary school, it's not happening. No playing with the opposite sex without Oni-chan's approval. That moment, Genji-san's voice rang out. The chatter gradually subsided. The rain outside once again became apparent.
皆様、ご静粛に願います。
Silence filled the room. All of the relatives seemed vaguely aware that tonight's festivities consisted of more than a Halloween party. Better already know. This was a ceremony to mark the return of the gold from Kenzo to Beatrice, which had been borrowed for so many years. Now, that fact was being announced by Kenzo himself. He spoke of how this gold had not only restored the Ushiromiya family, but brought it to a level of wealth it had never before experienced. I don't know, I just thought of this, and maybe I'm just going out there, but hell, I've been going out there with my, you know, analysis by this point, so what the hell. But it is kind of like returning the story back to Ryokushio 7. You know what I mean? Because that's what I've been doing. Like, really. I mean, I've been Let's Playing this series, but it's like, of course I didn't create it. I'm just playing through it. I'm just commentating for it. And, well, it hasn't brought me great wealth, I'll tell you that very much. It hasn't done that, but, it certainly has brought me great popularity, I guess you could say. I don't know. I just don't want to say this in a fucking, like, boisterous tone or whatever. But, like, it has brought me prosperity, I guess, you know, hundreds of views and such, and so many different comments and the like, and so many great people, you know, commenting and such, and people who definitely followed me through When They Cry, but it really does feel like, once I finish with the series, I'm bringing it back to the story. Once I'm done with it, once I'm done with this well over 300 hours of gold, I'll bring it back to Ryokushio 7. That I'll be done with it. That I'll be free from it. That I'll move on to something else. Maybe I'm thinking way too abstractly by this point. Maybe I'm connecting way too many dots by this point. But that's what I'm just thinking of, like, of how it kind of works for me. This whole Kenzo returning the gold back to Beatrice, but how I've used this game to inflate my, I guess in a way, my own wealth, and just returning it back since it's almost over, and I have no need for it no more. He spoke of how this gold had not only restored the Ushiromiya family, but brought it to a level of wealth it had never before experienced, which is very much true for me. He spoke of how he would finally return this gold to Beatrice, the one who had saved the Ushiromiya family. Kenzo personally handed an ingot decorated with a bright red weapon to Beatrice.
3代にわたる黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェの恩。後宮家は未来永劫忘れることはないであろう。
やれやれ。しまう場所もないが、特別に引き取ってやろう。
ベアトリーチェ様。
It was hard to imagine Beatrice of all people getting admonished by Genji. I couldn't help but laugh.
後宮家顧問錬金術師ベアトリーチェである。今宵をもち10トンの黄金の貸し出し契約の終了を受け入れるものである。我が祖母の代より数十年、片翼をもがれたわしは再び飛翔の時を迎えた。わらわはそれを見守り、子々孫々までの未来永劫の繁栄を心より祈るものである。
God, now that I'm thinking of it that way, I would, yeah. I'll weave the nest of when they cry. I'll weave the nest of when they cry to move on to something else. The prosperous, safe environment of when they cry. God, now that I'm really thinking about that, this just adds another word to this. Fuck. God, fuck, man. Damn it, these fucking two games have impacted me so goddamn much. Emotionally, thinking, both to my brain, my heart, my channel, everything. God damn it, fuck. God, the more and more I think about it, shit. Applause filled the hall. Though she managed to make such a dignified speech for once, as soon as it was over, she stuck her tongue out and glared at us. I guess that's about the limit to how long Beater can stay serious.
黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェは名を受け継ぐことで千年を長らえる魔女である。よって彼女の子々孫々に至るまでそのすべてがベアトリーチェであり、そのすべてが当家の顧問錬金術師なのである。
The Beatrice's family and the Ushiromiya is forever interconnected.
後宮家子孫一同はベアトリーチェの恩義を永遠にたたえ、子々孫々に永遠にそれを伝えるのだ。ベアトリーチェは未来永劫後宮家の恩人であり、尊い絆で結ばれた家族なのである。
ご承認いただける方々は拍手。
After Genji's words, the relatives all looked at each other and started applauding at once.
ありがとう諸君、ベアトリーチェよ。そなたは後宮家の一員だ。それは血より尊き絆によるものだ。
金の貸し借りの縁は血より大切であるからね。
ベアトリーチェ様。
After that, Kenzo's long-winded speech continued. Tonight, Kenzo would retire the Ushiromiya family head. Then he announced that he would reveal the distribution of his inheritance. A stir of excitement spread across the siblings in money trouble when they heard that they wouldn't have to wait for Kenzo's death to get their shares.
お前たちがそれぞれ金に苦労しているのは知っておる。それらの問題はすべてこれで解決できるであろう。ただし心せよ。これは死を待たずして与える遺産である。私はお前たちを厳しくも常に見守ってきた。しかし今宵をもってお前たちの父はそれをやめるのだ。私は雲上から見守るかのごとくお前たちが飛翔するのを眺めているだろう。もはや何の口出しもせん。そなたたちの生きたいように生きるがよい。
親父。
お父様。わかりました。私たちは必ずや飛翔してみせます。
兄弟で力を合わせ後宮家をますますに繁栄させることを兄弟一同ここに誓います。
さやで、わしらは力を合わせたら向かうところ敵なしや。
Hideyoshi laughed, but Genji admonished him. However, he could understand why they were so happy. So far, the siblings had quarreled ruthlessly over the inheritance. However, this evening, the inheritance had been neatly split apart, and they no longer had any need to scheme for money. In other words, the siblings no longer had any reason to squabble with each other anymore. On the contrary, this was a time for them to join hands and help each other become more and more prosperous. Ava and Rosa were sniffling with tears in their eyes. And so was Rudolph. Perhaps now, despite their ages, they had finally left the nest for real. Tonight, the eagles of the Ushiromiya family would leave Rokujima, the nest weaved from the witch's magic, and go their separate ways. With their own power and determination. It made Kinzo think, if only I had done this from the start. If he had settled the inheritance problem himself, there would have been no need for his children to quarrel at all. Instead, he had acted in a sullen manner and left the problem to them, which had resulted in their strained relationships. Yes, it was all his responsibility. And now, the intertwining bonds had been released. It was as though an invisible rope had been wrapped around Kinzo's body. That rope was now gone, and he felt a sense of release he hadn't experienced for many years. The four siblings stepped forward, and before Kinzo they swore to all support Klaus, the new head, and lead the family to greater prosperity. Their faces sparkled with an unexpected youthfulness. It was only natural. After all, none of the four had made such a natural feeling promise since the time they were kids. As the vibrancy of their youth returned to them, the siblings made a promise once again. When Klaus finished his announcement, a friendly applause filled the hall. The cousins, and the servants too, joined in on the applause that continued on and on. Really is beautiful to see them set free. Angie watched this, dumbfounded. The four siblings were supposed to have quarreled with each other constantly since they were kids. And they were supposed to have pointlessly locked swords with Kinzo's inheritance as their goal, their worries over money spurring them on. Thanks to this ceremony, even the world of truth, the world I acknowledge, has been rewritten. Were they actually friendly towards each other, or did they quarrel all the time like I believe? It doesn't matter. Either way, right here, right now, all of those problems have been resolved. I mustn't believe. This is just only Chen's farce. Even though I knew that fact, when I watched Dad and the others hugging each other with teary smiles on their faces, I couldn't help but feel something warm welling up in my eyes.
信じないわ。これも全部お兄ちゃんの茶番なんでしょ。
お前は何を見たら、聞いたら信じることができるんだ。
赤で赤き真実で言ってくれたら。
赤で言えなければ全ては嘘なのか。
That's Erica's reasoning.
信じない。私はこんなの。
Angie looked at the four and fell silent. As the game master, Battle was able to use the red truth. However, that will only exist on a witch's game board. In the world of humans, red truth doesn't exist. People see things, hear things, and when they believe that something is worth believing, they accept it as a red truth. Unless Angie accepts it, no kind of truth can become truth. Yeah. Badwer wanted her to realize this. There was no point in using the red truth or rule of this game to force the truth on her. Angie would have to use her own power, her own heart, to accept the truth as truth. The decision was Angie's. no one could follow her to decide either way. So there was nothing wrong with Angie declaring the scene to be a farce. But if so, then what about the hot tears dripping down Angie's face? Angie would have to think that through herself without anyone telling her. After one sniffle and a rub of her eyes, Angie let the 6-year-old version of herself take control of her peace. What followed was a humorous, fun stretch of time. Beautifully adorned dishes were brought in one after another, and champagne corks were loosened with pleasant sounds. Several small tables were set here and there, each with its own theme. That was where the fun lay in the stand-up buffet party, as the guests wandered from table to table, pondering what they should eat first. This sort of performance was where Goda's genius shone through. The hotel that let him go should have regretted ever having done so. Of course, a stand-up buffet would probably be a tiring affair for the middle-aged, so chairs had been set up as well. However, each time a new dish was brought into the hall, they could get up to work, wandering through the tables however they pleased. This way, they could each bump into a new group of people, then mingle elsewhere when that group melted apart. People were interesting. As the members in each group changed, so did the topic of conversation. The bustling Halloween party poured out like a colorful kaleidoscope. The original chains decorating the walls brought back youthful memories. Those would help anyone enjoy themselves like they were kids again. Even to Angie, it was like a dream. She chatted happily with her cousins. She also chatted with her aunts and uncles. Bita showed her several tricks that she called magic. Maria said they were magic. Angie said they were tricks, and the night grew even more lively. The two young girls were so fired up that the adults decided to show some tricks they knew, shocking both the kids utterly. Eventually, they each started showing tricks to the others, asking if they'd ever seen this one or that one before. And it became a party of magic, just perfect for Halloween. In addition to magic tricks, several quizzes, riddles, and games popped up, reminding everyone of their childhood days. Even the servants who were serving food got dragged into the groups, and the whole hall was filled with chatter. To Angie, young as she was, every single magic trick, quiz, and riddle was an entirely new experience. They stimulated her intellectual curiosity, and she couldn't contain her excitement. Add in the wide variety of delicious foods and drinks she could choose from, and it was like being in a dream. Angie felt a floaty sensation as though she was walking on the crowd.
Angie, お前これを飲んじゃったのか? これお父さんの飲み物だぞ。
エンジェも大人のブドウジュース飲みたかったの。
That's not grape juice. Well, I mean, it is grape juice. Oh, god damn it. God damn it, this is warming my fucking heart. God damn it.
だからいいの。
少し顔が赤いぜ。大丈夫か？
ちょっとしか飲んでないから大丈夫とは思うけれど。
エンジェ大丈夫だよ。子供じゃないもん。
You're 12 years old, Angie.
エンジェちゃんはこっちを飲みなさい。ルドルフお父さんが飲んでるのは悪い飲み物だからもう飲んじゃダメよ。
そうだな。悪いのを飲んでるとエンジェも悪い大人になっちまうぜ。
エンジェ悪い大人にならないもん。お姫様になるもん。
そうよ。エンジェは私たちみんなのお姫様よ。
そうだな。エンジェは家族みんなのお姫様だ。
私にもお姫様よ。 ぜひ今度おばさんの家にも遊びに来てね。絶対なんだから。いっぱいいっぱい歓迎してあげるんだから。
God damn it. God damn it. Shit, this is reminding me of my own, family. But remember, I used to camp a lot when I was younger with my family and such. And I remember specifically those nights, when you're around the campfire, just talking, I always remember those. God. The more in order I get, the more and more I realize what's my favorite part of life. The more and more I think about it, I always think of conversations. I always think of weird conversations I'd have with any person, be it on Discord, TF2, hell, Gmod even, or even, around the campfire of just talking to other people about anything really, any stupid joke, any stupid conversation, any stupid topic. I always remember those. Just remember at like 2 a.m. just talking about some random shit, all the stupid jokes I would make, stupid bits that we'd come up with. The more and more I realize it, the more and more I love talking to people. Even though I'm introverted, huh? But on the internet, I'm extroverted, I have to say. I feel like just talking with people about stupid stuff, about anything really. And this has reminded me of that. Just mingling with other people that you would never usually talk with, or even meet. Just talking about anything. Anything at all. Those are such fun memories for me, and others may see that in a sad light. But I view it as enjoyable memories, as happy memories, as funny memories. Stupid conversations that don't mean anything, but yet still so much fun to have. God. Shit. Oh my god. Everyone's being really nice. It almost feels like I've become a real princess. It feels so great I could almost believe that this whole celebration was being held for my sake. Beto stood outside that group of people. As he watched Angie smiling happily from the distance, he smiled too.
ああして幸せに笑えば名前負けもせんのにな。惜しい娘よ。
そうだな。天使の名にふさわしい笑顔だと思うぜ。
あの笑顔がコマでなく本当のエンジェのものであればよいのだ。
仮に違ってもあいつはこれを見てるさ。そして自分で考えればいい。
そなたとエンジェのゲームは慈しみにあふれているな。
Yeah, definitely.
わらわからすればもどかしいほどにな。
もどかしくて何の問題がある。誰の邪魔もない。妨害も駆け引きも何もなしだ。
そうだな。このゲームはもはや戦いでさえない。
言ってみれば片付けなんだ。俺たちのゲームの。
Yeah.
わらわの気まぐれなる行為があやつに及んだ罪は償いきれぬ。
俺たちのゲームの責任だ。俺たち二人で償う。だから俺たちでエンジェに最後のゲームを送る。
エンジェはあの鍵を正しく使えると思うか。
俺たちが正しいと思う方へ 無理やり引っ張ることももちろん考えたさ。
それは意味なきことかもしれぬな。強制された選択は正しくとも生涯受け入れがたい。
そういうことだ。演者は自ら考え、自ら選ばなければならない。それが俺たちから見て正しくない選択であったとしても、俺はそれを祝福しようと思う。
ゲームマスターはそなただ。わらわはもはや何も口を挟まぬ。今宵をただ楽しむだけだ。
エンジにとっては意味あるゲームだ。だが俺たちにとってはお疲れ様パーティーみたいなもんさ。
そろそろやってくる頃合いだな。しかし良いのか？エンジェにまた誤解されるぞ。
大丈夫さ。それにむしろ必要なんだ。お前がそういう姿を見せたようにみんなもな。
ならば我らもこの千秋楽祝いを楽しませてもらうとしよう。これほどの長きゲームにて皆それぞれの役を見事演じきってきたのだから。
That instant, the sound of someone clapping for attention rang out.
さあさあ皆様、お集まりください。本日のとっておきでございます。
Goda than the one clapping. Everyone gathered together, wondering what was going on. Then the serving cart in front of him was a large sliced chocolate cake.
本日は今夜のハロウィンパーティーの目玉としてこの特製ザッハトルテをご用意させていただきました。ご覧の通りチョコレートにて片翼のわしの紋章の風浪をつけた後ろ宮家だけの一品でございます。
This stupendous cake drew a gasp of admiration from all present.
これは立派なケーキですな。目玉にふさわしいものです。
Big old chocolate cake.
いえいえ、ただのケーキではございませんよ。今夜のこのケーキには一つ秘密がございます。
It has cyanide in it.
親方様、どうかそれを皆様にお話しくださりますよう、よろしくお願いいたします。
This has got almonds in it?
これはささやかなゲームであるぞ。このケーキには一つだけ当たりのものがあるのだ。
アーモンドだ。
Angie shouted happily. Kinzo looked at her and nodded.
このケーキの中の一切れだけにアーモンドが一粒入っておる。そのケーキを選んだ者が今夜の王様であるぞ。
Tonight's king.
王様ゲームなんて久しぶりだぜ。
It's an interesting way to play the king's game.
あなたのは悪い王様ゲームね。
さて、王様になるとどんなことがあるのですかな。
王様は願いを一つ口にすることができる。それを皆で叶えようではないか。
へえ、面白そうだぜ。
王様は男がなるんだよ。女の子はなれないよ。
女の子が当たりだったらお姫様になれるんだよ。
アーモンドアーモンドが当たり。
そうだな。エンジェはすごいな。
こういう時はくじ運がものを言うんや。負けへんで。
お待ちなさいよ。
小さい子から順に選ぶといいわ。それがいいですね。エンジェちゃんからどうぞ。
こら、マリアはお姉さんでしょ。エンジェちゃんを先にしなさい。
エンジが当たりを引いちゃったらどうするの？エンジが当たりを引く。アーモンドが当たり、アーモンドが当たり。
私たち年寄りは残り物に福があることを祈りましょう。
和解順ということはビリは金蔵であるよな。
そなたは1000歳であろうが。
納得ゆかん。
Everyone burst out laughing. Her real age was unknown, but she screamed to be 19 years old. In front of Angie lay a large cake split into several pieces. Just one of those pieces was the winner.
さあ、エンジェ様、どのケーキになさいますかな。どれを選んでもほっぺたが落っこちるほど美味しいですよ。
やだ、当たりのじゃないとやだ。
じゃあ一発で当ててみせるしかないな。ほら、選べ選べ。
Battler pushed Angie's small back towards the table with the cake.
どれにしようかな。
Chocolate cake was cut into 15 pieces. I want to pick the one with the almond and become the princess. Damn, that looks good. Shit. One of them has an almond. Which could it be? I get to choose first, but it sort of feels unfair. I mean, it is, isn't it? My chances of getting the white one are 1 in 15. There's no way I'll get it. And then when Maria Oni-chan goes after me, she has 1 in 14 chance of picking the winner. The next person has a 1 in 13 chance and a 1 in 12 chance, and the last person will win for sure?
お兄ちゃん、これずるい。最初に選ぶ人の方が不利。
Everyone laughed. Apparently, this was something very wrong with my calculations, but I still didn't like it.
さあ、エンジェ様から運試し。どうぞどうぞ、お選びください。
If I have to pick one out of so many, there's no way I'll win. But for some reason tonight, it feels like I might actually win after all. I have no reason for feeling this way, but when I'm in a good mood, witty luck always brings me fortune.
ほら、決まったか？
決まった。これが当たり。
I concentrated on my fingertip and pointed at one of the 15 slices. The slice I chose was... What? Choose a slice? What? Shit. Oh god. Oh, choice. Oh god. Interactivity and... Oh my god. Oh. Okay. Okay. Alright, okay, so... 1, 2... Okay. I gotta pick out the lucky number. So, lucky number is always 7. But what 13 is always unlucky, so, You know what? I'll choose number 3. You know what? No, wait. Let's just pick... Let's pick... this one.
これ。
これでございますね。よろしいですか？
もう決めたの？これがいい？
When he asked me whether I was sure, I felt a little uneasy. Still, at times like this, it's better to stick with your instincts. It was one of the few bits of philosophy that this young girl had learned from her few life experiences. Goda took the chosen slice, put it on the plate with a fork, and handed it to Angie.
次はマリアね、マリア。どれにしようかな。
It was Maria's turn next. She was excited, determined to be the winner. I walked away from that group all by myself. I was struck by a temptation to quickly cut the cake open and check for an almond inside. However, I stopped myself. If I check my piece first, my chance of winning is 1 in 15. However, if I wait for some other people to check their slices, then when I see that they are raw, my chances will go up, if only slightly. In other words, instead of searching for the almond right away, my chances will go up if I wait for some other people to lose. But if someone picks a winner while I'm still sitting around here, the chances of my slice being the winner will go to 0. It will be tough to calculate the right moment. I need to wait just long enough for as many losers to show up as possible. My chances of winning are highest if I can check my piece immediately before someone else wins. Yeah, that's the trick to winning this game. What a strange thought. Feels like I'm missing something? Even though no one else can touch the cake that's in front of me, the almond side will appear or disappear depending on whether or not the other people win or lose. I was in such a good mood that I felt dizzy and I couldn't figure out what was wrong with my theory. But I did realize that something was strange. There's always just one truth inside a cat box. No matter what happens outside the box, it shouldn't be able to shake the truth inside. And yet, I'm being shaken about by events outside the cat box, trying to use those to change the way I observe the box's contents. I don't even know what I'm saying. Another me inside of me is trying to say that, but it's too hard for me to understand. I feel like I'm drifting. I got so cheery and excited that even though I'm not sleeping, my mind feels hazy. Maybe it's because I drink bad adult drink. Interesting. To check first or to check last? Angie deciding to have the outside factors decide when she gets to open up the cake. When she should be just enjoying the cake for what it is. Even if it is a winner. Even if it's a loser, it's still a chocolate cake. It still is a delicious cake. Baked perfectly by a man who loves to cook. For it's a chocolate cake. And if it's not a winner, then well, that's okay. Still something to be enjoyed. Something to dine on, to be fed by it, to nurture you. You know? Maybe that's, you know what, that's what I think. That's what I think, is that's what's supposed to represent. In the end, even though I chose the first piece, I decided to check it last. After I've seen that everyone else has lost, my chances of winning will be 100%. I tried to find the contradiction in my thinking, but I didn't really get it, so I stopped. It's much better to have a 100% chance than a 1 in 15 one, so I decided to bet on that. I couldn't wait to open this precious treasure chest. But I waited for everyone else to choose their pieces and check them.
どうですか？当たりの出た方はいますか？
マリアの入ってなかった。
私のも外れだぜ。お姫様になり損ねちまった。
外れでも本当に美味しくて美しいザッハトルテだね。食べずに飾っておけるものならそうしたいくらいだよ。
どうだ？アーモンドあったか？
私もダメね。秀吉兄さんはどう？
わしも外れのようや。会社に嫁にもうわしの運は使い切っとるからな。
もう
それってどういう意味よ。
南條先生はいかがですか？
今調べてるところです。たまにはこういうのも楽しいですな。
うん。駆け引きなしの純粋な博打も実に面白い。ベアとはどうであったか？
残り物に服があるなどと言った嘘つきは誰だ。
エンジはどうだ？
That was one hell of a girl.
アーモンドはあったか？
今調べてる。
なんだ、まだ手をつけてなかったのか？
I had been following my own personal probability theory, but I didn't think I could explain it well to Oni-chan, so I didn't mention to him. I wonder if there's an almond in here. If I win, I'll be tonight's princess. I'll be happy if I win, but even if I don't, it'll still be a really fun night, so that's okay. It got put on hold when this cake game started, but before then, everyone was having a lot of fun trading tricks, quizzes, and riddles. This game is fun too, but I want to play like that again soon. Huh?
どうしたエンジェ？お
I lifted up that tiny thing with my fork and stared at it, then showed it to my brother.
これアーモンドだよね。
おおお、エンジェのに入ってたのか。すごいぜエンジェ。
At the same time, a stir rose up in the other corner of the room.
あったわ。私のに当たりが入ってた。
ほう、エヴァが当てたか。
これはおめでとうございます、エヴァ様。
Eva won, huh?
違う。エンジェが当たりなの。私がアーモンドなの。
I held the almond high and shouted across the room. The crowd around Eva split and everyone stared at me surprised. I was surprised too. The thing in her hand was, without a doubt, an almond. There was two.
なんだこりゃどういうことだ？
5だ。アーモンドが2つ入ってるようだが、どちらも当たりなのかね？
はて、そんなはずは。
どちらかが勘違いということでしょうか。
エンジェ様のは間違いなくアーモンドです。カノン君、そっちは？
エヴァ様のも間違いなくアーモン
では2人とも当たりということではありませんか？
親方様。
これは奇異なこともあるものだ。どうしたものか、豪だよ。
これはちょっとした手違いでございまして、じゃんけんでもしてもらって。
ケチくさいことを言うでない。2つのアーモンドが現れ、女王と姫が選び出されただけの話ではないか。
そういうことだ。2人が当たりということで良いではないか。
まあしかし。
Yoda was hesitant. Actually, he had prepared a single special dessert for the king. It had been decorated in a way that made it hard to split for two people. So it wasn't convenient for there to be two kings. When Ava heard Yoda mumbling something to his effect, she shrugged and laughed.
じゃあ、エンジェちゃんがお姫様になりなさい。
お姫様。エンジェはお姫様なの？
私はその付き人よ。ね、これならいいでしょう。
Of course it worked. Angie had been worried that Ava would be declared the winner since she had spoken up first. So she hadn't even dreamed that Ava would give it up to her.
でも、いいの？エヴァおばさんも当たりなのに。
いいのよ。エンジェちゃんの付き人になれたもの。さあ、お姫様。 あなたが叶えてほしい願いは何？考えてちょうだいな。
エンジェは願い事もう決めてあるの。
あら、それは何？おばさんに教えて。
I want this fun time to keep on going. Forever. The young me spoke for the desire in my heart.
さっきまでの楽しいがずっと続いてほしいの。
I get the feeling that the nuance has changed. Still, that was unmistakably my wish.
さっきまでのって、ああ、手品とかクイズとか？じゃあこうしましょう。みんな聞いて。お姫様の命令よ。ついさっきまでみんなが盛り上がっていたように、手品やクイズなどでエンジェちゃんを楽しませてあげてちょうだい。
おいおい。
Oh, this is a new track.
もう手品のネタも尽きちまったぜ。
ならクイズやなぞなぞね。
つまりみんなでいろいろなクイズでエンジェちゃんに楽しんでもらうようにすればいいわけかね。
お姫様に楽しんでもらえるクイズをみんなで献上するのですね。
なるほどね。了解したよ。
あははは。なるほど、面白いではないか。ではエンジェよ、こうしよう。みんなにクイズやなぞなぞを出してもらい、それに挑むがよい。
Quiz or riddle, huh?
見事解けるたびにそなたにメダルを1枚与えよ
う。メダルって
記念メダルってことだろうな。いっぱい正解できればいっぱい集められるんだろうぜ。
ただ集めるだけではつまりませんね。
集めたメダルの枚数に応じて私から素敵なプレゼントを送ってやろう。
プレゼント？
どうだ、がぜんやる気が出たであろう。
すごいじゃない。ご褒美まであるんですってよ。
よかったわね、エンジェ。
Everyone gathered around me, smiling as though they thought about what sort of puzzle they'd give. They're all thinking about me so that they can play with me. Just the feel of having that all to myself almost made me explode with joy at becoming the princess. Quiz tournament first half? Oh. Oh. Damn it. Oh, it's... Oh, shit. Do I keep going or do I stop here? You know what? Okay, it says first half. So you know what? I'll stop here. Since... How about I do all of the quiz tournament next episode? And I feel like this is going to be interactable as well. I really do feel like it's going to be interactable, and I'm gonna have to prepare myself for it. I'm gonna have to prepare myself for this quiz tournament, whatever it is. So I'll save that for next time, right now. But god damn it, is this episode heartwarming? Fuck, it is. It really is. It really. That's the best way they can fucking put it. It's just, it's heartwarming. It's beautiful. It's heartwarming. It's amazing. I don't know what else to say. But oh, I'm kind of excited for this quiz tournament now. I'm actually quite intrigued by it. Ooh. Wonder how many medals I can get. But I'll save that for next time. I'll save that. I'll prepare myself for next time. But for now, I think this is where I'll leave things off. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this episode, hit that subscribe button. If you liked it, hit the like button. Want to tell me something? Put it down in the comments below. Check out the Discord server I'm in, or my check description below. And yeah, it's been Voidlego. I'll see you guys next time. See ya!